Have you ever wondered what reality is made of? Everything you see, touch, and feel is part of a vast hidden language, the language of chemistry. Chemistry is the science of substances, their structures, their properties, and the reactions that transform them. But it is not just about laboratories or equations. Chemistry is about uncovering the order written into the fabric of the universe. Let's begin with the smallest building blocks: atoms. Atoms are unimaginably small, yet they are the foundation of all matter. Inside every atom is a nucleus of protons and neutrons, surrounded by electrons moving at incredible speeds. These particles obey exact laws. If the charge of the electron were slightly different, or if the strength of the nuclear force were off by just a tiny fraction, atoms would not hold together, chemistry would not exist, and life would never begin. This is not chance. This is precision. The Quran reminds us. Indeed, all things we created with predestination. Surah Al-Qamar 54:49. Chemistry is our attempt to measure and understand this predestination. Atoms join to form molecules, and molecules form everything we know. Consider water, H2O, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. Simple, yet miraculous. Water expands when it freezes, unlike most substances, which means ice floats. If ice sank, oceans would freeze from the bottom up, destroying life. Water also dissolves more substances than any other liquid, making it the perfect medium for biology. This is why the Quran says, "And we made from water every living thing. Then will they not believe?" Surah Al-Anbiya 21-30. This is not just poetry. It is a scientific truth. Another key element is carbon. Carbon's unique ability to bond with itself and with many other atoms allows it to build long chains and complex structures. Proteins, DNA, carbohydrates, and fats. All life is built on carbon chemistry. Out of the countless possible structures in the universe, the chemistry of carbon is uniquely suited to life. This is design, not accident. Now think about reactions, the transformations of matter. When you strike a match, fuel reacts with oxygen, releasing heat and light. Inside your body, glucose reacts with oxygen to produce energy. Every reaction follows strict laws. Atoms are never lost, only rearranged. This is called the conservation of matter. But the atoms themselves had to come from somewhere. Physics tells us that hydrogen was formed in the early universe, while heavier elements like carbon, oxygen, and iron were forged in the hearts of stars. The Quran says, "And we made therein a shining lamp." Surah Nur 71:16. Those stars not only give us light, but also create the elements that make up our bodies. The iron in your blood was once part of a star that exploded billions of years ago. Chemistry reveals order within complexity. The periodic table organizes all known elements according to their properties. Hydrogen, helium, oxygen, carbon, iron, gold. Each has a fixed place determined by its atomic number and electron structure. This pattern was not invented by humans. It was discovered. The universe was already written with this structure, waiting to be uncovered. The Quran states, "He created everything and determined it with precise determination." Surah Al-Furqan 25:02. The periodic table is a living testimony to that precise determination. Now, let's zoom in to life itself. In your stomach, acids and enzymes break down food into molecules. Glucose enters your blood and reaches your cells. There, a chain of reactions, cellular respiration, combines glucose with oxygen, producing water, carbon dioxide, and energy in the form of ATP. Without this chain of chemical reactions working with flawless precision, every heartbeat, every breath, and every thought would stop instantly. Chemistry is the hidden symphony sustaining your life every second. But chemistry is not only inside you, it is around you, shaping the planet. Plants use photosynthesis to turn carbon dioxide and water into sugar and oxygen. Animals and humans then breathe oxygen and release carbon dioxide. This creates a perfect cycle. The balance of gases in the atmosphere is not random. It is finely tuned. The Quran says, "And the sky he raised and imposed the balance, that you not transgress within the balance." Surah Ar-Rahman 55, 7-8. Chemistry is one of the clearest demonstrations of that balance. Modern chemistry also transforms our world through technology. Nanotechnology manipulates matter at the scale of atoms and molecules, creating new materials with extraordinary properties, from stronger medicines to lighter materials for space exploration. Biochemistry decodes DNA, allowing us to understand how life grows, heals, and adapts. Environmental chemistry studies pollution and climate, showing how even small changes in chemical cycles can affect the entire planet. Each discovery confirms that matter is governed by precise laws and delicate balances. Even our bodies are chemical miracles. Hormones are chemical messengers that control mood, growth, and health. Neurotransmitters carry signals across the brain, allowing you to think and feel. A tiny imbalance in these chemicals can affect your emotions, your memory, or your actions. The fact that chemistry controls not only the physical but also the mental and emotional aspects of life shows us how deeply it is woven into existence. Medicine is another striking example. The difference between healing and harm can come down to the smallest change in a molecule. A single atom added or removed can turn a drug into a poison, or a poison into a cure. This shows that chemistry is powerful, but power requires responsibility. Knowledge of chemistry can build or destroy, and how we use it becomes a moral choice. In daily life, chemistry surrounds you. Soap removes grease by breaking it into tiny particles. Cooking changes raw ingredients through chemical reactions, creating flavors and textures. Batteries store and release chemical energy, powering your phone and laptop. The colors you see in fireworks come from different metals burning at high temperatures. Every convenience of modern life, from clean water to electricity, depends on chemistry. When you study chemistry deeply, you notice something remarkable. The deeper science goes, the more order it finds, from the level of atoms to molecules to reactions to cycles of life. Nothing is chaotic. Everything is governed by laws. Everything has purpose. The Quran calls these ayat, signs. Signs in nature pointing us to the Creator. So chemistry is not only about substances, structures, properties, and reactions. It is about discovering the hidden order behind reality. It shows us that matter is not random, but finely structured. That properties are not accidents, but carefully determined. That reactions are not chaotic, but balanced. And that life is not meaningless, but built on laws that point to wisdom. The next time you drink a glass of water, cook a meal, or take a breath, remember, chemistry is not just science. It is a language of creation. And behind this language is the one who created substances, gave them structure, defined their properties, and set their reactions in motion.